Responsible government is the foundation of our system of parliamentary democracy. The principle that ministers are responsible to Parliament and that Parliament is responsible to the people is part of our great British constitutional heritage. It's one of the features of our parliamentary democracy that distinguishes us from the United States and from many European democracies. Responsible government is a fundamental feature of Australian constitutional practice. To be sure, responsible government has been weakened in Australia by an increasingly powerful executive which dominates Parliament by the means of party disciplines. Thanks, Bob. Responsible government in Australia has been undermined by the progressive defunding and disempowerment of what was once an effective and independent public service. Responsible government in Australia has been constrained by the loss of the concept of ministerial responsibility. Where once ministers lost their jobs for not declaring a Paddington bear at customs, we now see ministers evade responsibility for actions which result in the deep distress and suicide of Australians, as demonstrated in the former government's prime ministers and multiple ministers' shameful recent testimony to the Robo-Debt Royal Commission. But the most startling breach of responsible government occurred in a 14-month period from March 2020 to May 2021, when the member for Cook, acting as the Prime Minister, was secretly appointed to administer 5 departments of state, in addition to that of the Prime Minister and Cabinet. These appointments were not disclosed to the Parliament or to the public. The secrecy of these appointments has been widely condemned. That eminent professor of constitutional law, Professor Anne Toomey, stated that this lack of transparency is indicative of a lack of respect for the institutions of government and of the general public. The Solicitor General said that the actions of the former Prime Minister fundamentally undermined the principles of responsible government. And in her report on the appointment of the former Prime Minister to administer multiple departments, the Honourable Virginia Bell found that these actions were corrosive of trust in Parliament. My Kooyong constituents deeply value our rich British parliamentary heritage, our constitutional conventions, and our system of parliamentary democracy. They want their representative to uphold and protect the tenets of responsible and transparent government. This bill, to ensure greater transparency for executive appointments, shouldn't be necessary, but it will ensure that no future Prime Minister can ride roughshod over the most fundamental principles of responsible government. And for that reason, I commend this motion to the House.